Hello, this is Adeptus Nubis, and today I bring you a 1v1 cast between Tex and Farzo on Calderis Refinery. Tex is playing the Apo again. He seems to be playing the Apo a lot these days. Melee commander can't be taken very serious in melee early on. It's also a healing commander, but can be upgraded to some really nice melee threat in the later game. Versus the Warlock. That's a very interesting matchup since the Warlock has a lot of tools to make the Apo's life a real nightmare and vice versa. Can upgrade to the Merciless Witchblade, which drains energy on each hit, denying the Apo the necessary heals to allow his units to stay in the fight longer. We shall see how this goes. So far, very standard openings here. We see double scouts from Tex, which is very strong in the current meta, because Eldar do struggle versus double scout builds. They have to go for Rangers if the Space Marine player opts for the elite training. Shall see though if Tex really does that. Banshees, of course, in this matchup also very strong. Warlock's gonna deny. Oh no, he tried to deny the scouts. The cap here is going to harass these scouts, soften them up a little bit for the upcoming fight. Apo consolidates his army here, and now will engage the Warlock. Warlock is just harassing the entire army here from Tex. Tex is actually going for it. On the other side, the Double Dire Avengers and the Banshees are closing in, so Farzo seems to be luring Tex into this ambush here. Warlock is meeting with his army here. Double Dire Avengers are going to defend this cap of the victory point. Tex was purchasing Devastators here for a second. Seems to have rethought this. It's generally not a very good purchase in general. While it may be good versus the Banshees and the Warlock, Rangers will easily counter that, and since Rangers also counter infiltrated scouts, well, you might want to not go for Devastators. But the Shuriken, in any case, is a very good purchase here, since it forces Tex to either go for Sergeants and the Elite Training, or for ASMs. In any case, Farzo will be equipped to deal with them very well, since the Warlock's Merciless Witchblade deals with ASMs very, very nicely. Since it drains energy on each hit, as I've said before, the ASM will not be able to double jump, making it a very high risk move to actually jump into the fight. As it stands now, Tex has no means to counter this Shuriken platform, but to go for a flank around with his double scouts. But so far, nothing. He just gets the decap here. I think he tried to go for a shotgun blast here, because I saw the energy being drained here for the scouts, but he didn't time it quite right. The other scout squad got the decap here as well. It seems he's just stalling now for his ASMs, and here they are. An attempted power bash here from Farzo. He knows that if he puts Tex behind in the tech race here at this point of the game, yeah, and he forces 2 generators immediately. Apo's just waiting here for these Dire Avengers, and he's waiting for the Shuriken platform as well. Banshees do get the node. We'll have to retreat though. That's a little bit too much of focus fire. There goes the heal on the Tactical Marine. That's why the Apo is so difficult to deal with early on, since the Tactical Marines are already very, very beefy. They become so much more potent with the Apo heal, and ASMs force off the Shuriken, and Tactical Marines engage melee combat with these Dire Avengers, and will easily win that. Farzo so far has kept map presence very well. Dire Avengers took down the node here. Texas immediately putting it up again. He wants that extra power. And now it seems he's going to force an engagement here on the power farm. He did purchase the flamers. I'm thinking that's why he got the node on that power farm over here again. Because he has invested quite a lot. Or, yeah. And there we go. Shuriken platform will be forced off by the ASMs here. Seems to be stalling at this point. Shotgun blast is still available, so these banshees cannot just jump in. He will have to soften up these scouts. He needs to focus the scouts with the Dire Avengers. He's not doing so. One generator goes down, two generator go down, and there's the shotgun blast, but it's a little bit too late now. He just has the knockback. Here come the ASM. The ASM's isolated now though, and the heal goes down on the tactical marines, so these ASMs are in danger of actually wiping here. Let's see, the fleet I think is still available. 2 models go down, that's very, very expensive. All in all, that was a very, very nice defense here from Farzo. He protected his farm reasonably well, 2 gens. It's not that big of a deal if you can take a few Space Marine models at the same time. And Tex keeps the tactical marines in play here. He really wants that whole bash. He needs that bash. But he cannot get it because the Shuriken platform is on the field again, fully healed up. And the ASMs have just been forced up, and you can see that Farzo is going tier 2 quite ahead in time. Since he didn't, and that is key, because you don't see that very often from Eldar players these days. He did not go for Exarchs or the battle equipment on either of the Dire Avengers, so that is saving him 15 power for each squad at least. Sorry, I did not disable the observer chat here. Shuriken platform will take the center VP, and Farzo will further increase his victory point lead. Tex is following up with tier 2 of his own now. And there we go with the elite training. Curious to see why he doesn't have sergeants and the elite training. I think if he would have purchased that on top of everything, he would have most definitely gotten the entire power farm. I have played versus Tex quite a few times, the Eldar April matchup, and that's what he always did versus me. He got the ASMs, he got the sergeants and the elite training, and there was literally nothing I could do apart from also heavily invest in tier 1. But due to the scouts infiltration and their superior mobility, it's a very strong tier 1 build. Let's see, Dire Avengers peckering away here at the tactical marines, but the Apo heal is just so strong, and the Banshees get all but obliterated here. ASM's jumping the Shuriken, and this is partly one engagement here for Tex only. Sergeant now up on the ASMs, but yeah, versus Witchblade is doing work. Well, why no Exarch, asks Bruce Campbell. He doesn't seem to need them right now. And it's going to be a triple cap for Tex here. Dire Avengers are just kiting around these ASMs. ASMs are wasting their second jump here. I think that was not really needed. They do get 2 models, 3 models, wow. That was very unfortunate here. 4 models lost. Well, who cares? They're not that expensive. The Avengers regaining this victory point here. So far so good. And now we see a purchase that we haven't seen a lot in 1v1s either. No Falcon, but Dark Reapers immediately. That's a very, very good choice here, considering that Tex has actually called down tactical marines somewhere. I don't see the drop bot yet, but as I roam around with the camera, I will find it eventually. And now these Dark Reapers are exponentially better. than the Falcon, but these Banshees will have to get out. And then we see the damage that these Falcons, these Dark Reapers can actually inflict, since they do Inferno damage, which does full damage to all targets, but heavy infantry, because versus heavy infantry they actually do increased damage. Just look at this, and they have, I think, 44 range, which is the same as the Falcon, which makes their synergy with the Falcon superior, I think, to all other units but Rangers, which also synergize very well with the Falcon. I think it's one of the most annoying combinations to actually deal with as Space Marine or any heavy infantry based army. Dark Reapers in a Falcon, because they can easily just jump back in at the first sight of danger. Warlock now with the Champion's Robe is going to make him so much more tanky. It synergizes very well with the Merciless Witchblade. At this point he's just stalling. Texas army here will have to fall back though, because that is double Tactical Marines and Shotgun Scouts from close range and the APO on top of that. At this point it's rather pointless to go for the customized Stormbolter from the APO, since the Warlock already has the Champion's Robe. I would have expected it in the early game though, when there was still no Champion's Robe. The Shuriken platform has been key here for Farzo, allowing him to have a lot of map control. ASMs engaging this Shuriken platform. Banshee's not covering it well enough. Go for the Tactical Marines instead, trying to force them off. But yeah, here comes the Merciless Strike attempt on these Banshees. That was just too much for these Banshees to take on. And Tex is trying his best to mitigate this victory point bleed, and does so, threatening a double cap here. Farzo is not getting anything else in tier 2, will go straight for tier 3. It's going to be interesting to see what he has, since Texas is really investing in tier 2, and often or many times you see players lose a game in tier 2 or in their transition to tier 3 because the other player heavily invested in tier 2 and will just push you off the map gradually, and tier 2 stuff can actually beat tier 3 super units, so it's always a high risk if you're not like very much ahead, like have a big victory point lead. As it stands, Farzo does have everything to combat this force here. These Dark Reapers here, you see their superior range, which makes them extremely annoying with the Shuriken platform and the Banshees, since you will have to engage with the ASMs first and the Banshees are right there to cover it. But now he has Sternguard veterans and they have their Hellfire rounds loaded in, so they actually deal quite a lot of damage. There we see Kraken rounds now loaded in, since these Dark Reapers over here, I can't see them right now, here they are. They are actually heavy infantry, and to fight them appropriately you have to use Kraken rounds, since they deal extra damage to heavy infantry. Tex is thinking about how to approach this. He goes down on these ASMs. ASM's still level 1, which is also a big problem, because Banshees are already level 2. That means without the Merciless Strike, these ASMs will get no knockback on these Banshees, which is vital for them. And the Warlock is just being so annoying and tanky, and he just trolls all these units here. Wow, and he gets the Sergeant, that is so painful. And there's his awesome special, which deals a lot of damage. It's actually a 2-part special. Power Axe now from the Apo. Apparently it seems he wants to drain this Warlock shield. I don't think though that the Apothecary will be able to tango with the Warlock. We shall make it so. Since the Warlock also has the advantage of being level 3 already. Dark Reapers here going to peck our way at these scouts. These scouts infiltrate. Somewhere Dire Avengers went down, I didn't even realize. How bad of me. Shuriken platform wants to set up here, but these Dark Reapers are being forced off, so it's better to just retreat. It seems that the shotgun blast has been used or is off cooldown, and he could maybe attack this, but this Space Marine force is actually very scary. And Tex he really needs the map, and that is why he's playing so aggressive right now. And he can be very aggressive because that is a very strong force that he has here. Double sergeants, double tactical marines, fully upgraded, or fully yeah, I think that's a fully upgraded APO here. He's going for a power bash. I'm not sure whether that's the right thing at this point in the game. Maybe he wants some red. Oh my god, these Dark Reapers are just killing these tactical marines. And now the Warlock as well. Banshees engage the APO. Farzo does not want the APO to heal any Space Marine unit here. But there you see the Hellfire do work versus these Banshees. They are just getting melted here. And they shall know no fear on these tactical marines here. They really Tex really needs to win this engagement. Even Angels of Death as well. Oh, but these ASMs met the Avatar. That is painful. That is pure pain. Couldn't accomplish anything here, and the Warlock is just going to chase off these tactical marines as well. Yeah. It's looking very grim. Banshees seem to have taken down the APO on retreat here. Dire Avenger is going to take this victory point. It's going to be a triple cap for Farzo, who's low on units right now, but who cares, because Tex now will have to take down the Avatar and level 2 Dark Reapers. It's looking very grim, because if he goes for a last cannon, well, the Warlock and the Banshees and the Dark Reapers will just have a field day with it. These scouts are being very annoying though. They have done a great job keeping some map control here for Tex, but as it stands, it's just not enough. Yeah, Tex needs to do something now about this Avatar. He goes for the Dreadnought. This is going to be his answer to the Avatar. The Avatar has vastly more HP than the Dreadnought, but Tex does have the double scout repair support, and he does have Stern Guards, which could always swap to their Vengeance rounds, and a Melter Bomb as well. I'm thinking here, yeah, there we see Thunder and Lightning upgrade. So he is going to prepare himself for this Avatar. And it's also very wise that he's not getting any ranged weapon. For example, the Melter Gun here, it does high damage to the Avatar, but it also makes the Dreadnought lose its melee resistance, which he will most definitely need, because the Avatar will catch up to the Dreadnought. And now we see a Seer Council purchase. I'm thinking this is going to put further pressure on these ASMs, and in case we're gonna see a last cannon, it's also going to be very effective versus that last cannon, because he's going to send in the Banshees, the Warlock, and the Seer Council first, and follow up with the Avatar. And Tex will be hard pressed to fight this force, and there we go. This is going to be it. There we see the Wailing Doom. He catches quite a few units. Melter Bomb goes down on the Avatar. Avatar is not too impressed with the Dreadnought's presence. Dreadnought is not fighting the Avatar anymore. He's going for the Warlock. Warlock is about to take down these tactical marines and does so. And now these ASMs. It's the Warlock alone versus all of this. And now the Banshees and the Avatar are joining the fight here. Banshees want to make sure that they do not get too close to this Dreadnought though, because the Emperor's Fist is still an option. And here goes another Wailing Doom. Oh, and he catches all these units perfectly. Wow. And Farzo was very, very wise to actually just ignore the Dreadnought and just go for all the infantry here. And look at this Avatar, it's just so much pressure. Tex does have the 2-0 cap, but who cares? That was a lot of bleed here on Tex. It's low on power now. We'll have to reinforce quite a lot. And there we see the double repair support on the Dreadnought. And the Avatar will have to leave, but there's a Fire Prism. And the Fire Prism is going to be a huge, huge head stomper here for Tex, because it has such a long range. There you see it. The Dreadnought will just have to keep on kiting back. And there's the possibility for an Eldritch as well, if Farzo so wishes. Let's look at the units here so far. We have level 2 Dire Avengers, level 3 Banshees, level 3 Dark Reapers. They are going to inflict a lot of damage, but here we see the Devastator Marine Squad. I'm guessing it's going to upgrade to Last Cannon immediately. Warlock, once the decap here activates his Champion's Robe, he's going to get the decap at least. Let's see, we might see the focus, the change to the wide beam shot. No. Or the disruption. No. 2-1 cap here, 164 to 125. It's a very close game, victory point wise, but I don't think that Tex has anything to really approach this. He would need a librarian to really put pressure on the Fire Prism, because there's still the threat of an Avatar. So these ASMs, they can only jump in, snare the Fire Prism, and the Last Cannon can follow up. He'll need the Dreadnought and the Double Scouts to protect the Last Cannon though, and then there's still the Avatar. What will he do about the Avatar? Even if he gets the Fire Prism, there is still the Avatar. But if he gets the Fire Prism, that's going to be a huge win, since then the Avatar will have to fight a Last Cannon and the Dreadnought and the Melter Bomb. So, but here we see a second Fire Prism. This Dreadnought is so dead. I'm predicting its death already. And this is also going to be the final stand here, I think. Tex is thinking about how this will go down, and here it goes. ASMs initiate. Melter Bomb. No Melter Bomb. Actually goes for the Merciless Strike, so it seems like he wants the infantry off the field. There we go with the Last Cannon on the Avatar. Dreadnought will engage the Avatar now that it is snared. ASMs will have to leave though, don't even make it out, because the Banshees just completely own this, these ASMs, and now the Banshees are going to turn on the April. Apothecary also goes down. This is a terrible engagement, because double Fire Prisms are also firing upon this Dreadnought. And these Banshees have actually been enhanced here from the Warlock. That might have been the reason why everything went down so fast, and these Dark Reapers are just shredding these Stone Guards here. Dreadnought goes down, and Tex is calling the GG. GG indeed. Farzo has done it. It was a very convincing performance here. And there is the concede, 85 to 125. There was just nothing Tex could do against this. And in this hectic, very hectic finish, Farzo just had the better micro and the better army in general. Like, he was prepared to take on any threat that Tex could have mustered here. But as it stands, yeah, he's just left with double scouts in the Last Cannon. Maybe he should have just gotten the decap with one of the infiltrated scouts or something. Bought a little bit more time maybe for a librarian, but then again, what is the librarian going to do The Smite is going to be very effective versus the Dark Reaper since they're heavy infantry, and the Smite is, I think, plasma damage. But then those Dark Reapers, yeah, they're level 4, so they don't really care about a single Smite. The Veil of Time on the last cannon would have been nice, but that was double fire prisms shooting at the Dreadnought, so there was really nothing that Tex could have done here. All in all, that was a good game. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys soon.